Hello, it's Gail from MyRepurposed Life.com. Today I'm going to show you how I glaze my light colored furniture pieces. I have some Rust-Oleum chalked decorative glaze. This is aged, and this gives it kind of that worn, brownish, kind of dirty look. And I like it, but it doesn't seem to sell very well. But this is my favorite. This is the smoked glaze. And I love what this does. I have used this so many times, and every time I use it, it gives a different look, depending on the color that I've used and depending on the paint. The paint I'm using today is a very flat paint. Usually I don't use it. I usually use satin paint or semi-gloss paint, so I'm not sure how this is going to react. I don't have very much of this left. I actually ordered some more on Amazon. I looked at my local stores and couldn't find it, but I did find it on Amazon pretty cheap. And if you go to MyRepurposedLife.com and look in the green menu, you'll see a shop button, and that will lead you to my Amazon shop, and you'll see it near the top. Because what I do is when I purchase things that I really like, I add them to that shop so you can easily find them. So this is what I'm going to use today. And to do this project, I always use a cheap chip brush. Now this washes up with soap and water, this glaze does. And this chip brush, you can tell it's very well loved. I use them over and over and over again, and the reason I love them so much is because they are very easy to clean. There are not that many bristles, and you just run some water in there and they clean up really nice. That's why I love them so well. So I've never done, this is an oops paint, and I've never used this paint with this glaze before, so I'm not sure how it's going to react. Let's give it a try and see what we think. It doesn't take very much. You don't need a lot. I'm going to do it on the underneath side first in case I'm not wild about it. So you just sort of work it in, and the more you work it, it kind of wipes it back and gives a lighter color. You can wipe it off with a rag if you choose, or you can just keep working it with the brush. This little table was a $7 coffee table with a damaged top. So I cut the top in half and added 2 legs from my stash. And you can see that tutorial on how I made this little, it's like an entryway. Let me make sure I'm not getting in the way here. It's for an entryway or a hall table, you know, where you just want to display a few little items or some photos or something. I'm in a bad situation here. Let's see. Pardon me. Well, I might have to edit this out. We'll see. I really like the way it's taking to this flat paint. It's grabbing more of the glaze than it typically does, giving it a darker look. What do you think? Are you liking it? I think there's not a lot in this can. Like I said, I'm almost out, but I've ordered it on Amazon and it comes so quickly. I think I'll have enough to do this whole table, because it's a small table, and this glaze goes a long way. I got this can over a year ago, and I've done countless projects with it, and I've done some very large projects with it. I did a kitchen table and chairs, a couple I think, and lots of little projects. I looked for a good glaze for years because I wanted something that could change the look of the painted pieces I did so they all didn't look the same. And I found this glaze actually at a conference I went to, a blog conference, and Rust-Oleum was there, and I picked this up and I have been using it ever since. I absolutely love the look it gives. Now you can see here, you can do sort of a dry brush effect if that's the kind of look you like. There are all ways to use this. It can change up one project, or one glaze can give you different looks on your projects. The hardest part about glazing is when you meet an intersection, getting the one part of the project to look just, match the other part of the project. That's the real difficulty. Other than that, it's really a simple paint technique. Okay, I have everything done but the top. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll flip it, and you can see how I do the top. So I'll be back after it dries a little bit. Okay, the glaze is nearly dry. I've sort of rushed it a little bit. You'll see I've got a board here. This is to protect my fence from the glaze. I find that sometimes large surfaces like this can be the most challenging to keep the look uniform. So I try to work as fast as I can. If you get too much glaze on, the best way to get glaze off is funny, but it's actually put more glaze on. Put more glaze on, and then you can take glaze off. And of course, real life shows its face here in Lulu May working at something going down the road. noticing is the top is a little darker than the bottom. So I'm going to try to drag off some of this finish. Okay, I opted to get a clean brush. Another old brush that's clean. See if I can get some of this off. If it dries, that's when you add glaze to take it off. But while this is still not set up, I'm going to try to drag off some of this glaze so that it matches the legs a little better. Okay, I'm calling it done. I love it. If you want to see an out, let's draw out on it.